Hello, my dear Pharma Network, and here we are again at sunny Barcelona at Reuters event, and we have our great guest in the studio. Hello, Yacin Marzouki.
Hi, Nataliya.
So, Yacin is a founder and a leader of Beyond Health. And we have a great conversation about how AI is changing pharma marketing.
So that's a very good question, Natalia. How is AI changing for our marketing? It's how we decide it should change it, right? Because we need to make, as pharma leaders, as pharma companies, the decisions that will lead to how it will change. And it's not only about doing those individual pilots and changing very small things. It's about, I think, a systemic change. For example, content creation. It's not only about being able to create more content with AI. It's also then how do you get that content approved? And do you have the studies to create more content? Do you have the data in order to segment and have then more relevant content? Why are you creating more content? But then also, how will you deliver that content? Because content is useless if it's not delivered. If it's to create content for it to sit on a slide collecting dust, then it doesn't serve value. So it's really that whole supply chain of content creation, content approval, content delivery that needs to be AI improved.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. So we also talking that there is a lot of noise and fragmented experiences. So how would you say that we are using AI but still keeping this connection across the entire content supply chain, that we keep things connected? So do you see we had a problem there?
I see it, but then honestly, it's also about doing very boring work. And for example, having a good tagging and taxonomy.
Yeah.
Because one of the main issues we have in pharma is that we don't have correct tagging and taxonomy. We don't have the customer data because we don't store it in the correct way. We don't link content and then, for example, adoption ladder stage. Some of that can be automated, not all of them. So it's also just about having very good processes and an ownership on that process. Who owns the data? Is it Salesforce effectiveness to keep the CRM up to date? The data team or the business analyst to keep the data clean? Is it marketing? So really, again, it's about looking at it from a systemic point of view. It is a huge added value, but only if done right.
That's amazing because this, housekeeping and with the hands-on work. So not everyone phones off, right? And we had this terrible question during the day today: is the modular content dead or it is a helper to AI? So what do you think about that?
So for me, modular content very often is used at the wrong time because you need a certain maturity level in order to implement modular content. Because first of all, you just need to work with templated content. And only if you have the data, the segments, the tagging taxonomy in place, can you work with modular content. And so it's not if modular content is dead or if modular content works, it's if modular content is there at the right time for you.
Yeah, so that's amazing. And if you could have an advice for all of us, like we are here, the pharma professionals, vendors, and we are in the era of rising AI. So what advice you will give to us?
So I know it's not an easy one, but it's to look at it from a systems point of view. So really, it's not about implementing AI. It's about what problems are we trying to solve. But then you cannot solve a problem just in one small box. Again, coming back to the example of earlier, I want to create content with AI. Yes, if I know that it adds value to the HCPs. Yes, if I know that it will get approved as well. Yes, it will get delivered. So it's looking at it from a whole supply chain point of view. That's the analogy I like to use it. To use, you need a whole supply chain and every link in the supply chain need to work. Otherwise, your content doesn't get delivered, doesn't get created, doesn't get approved, is done for the wrong personas, for the wrong reasons, etc., etc., etc.
Thank you so much. So this is the great insights and the great advice. Dear listeners, if you will have questions or you want to follow up with us, please feel free to reach out Yacin or myself, and I will forward all the questions to follow up this conversation. Thank you so much and wish you a nice event, a nice stay in Barcelona.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, everyone. Bye.